The night was a void of silence and shadows, the kind that swallowed light and hope in equal measure, stretching endlessly across the northern frontier where the borderlines blurred into mountains and mystery. Beneath that obsidian sky stood Night Fury, India's newest stealth fighter jet, a machine so silent it was said the wind itself couldn't hear it coming. Its sleek black frame shimmered faintly under the pale glow of runway lights, edges sharpened like a predator's claws, its wings whispering promises of vengeance and victory. Fighter Jot stood beside it, clad in his matte gray flight suit, visor reflecting the faint pulse of the jet's navigation lights. His call sign, Falcon 01, was embroidered over his chest, but his legend needed no introduction. The man who had flown through storms, fire, and death itself, now stood ready for a mission that demanded not speed or might, but invisibility. The intelligence briefing had been short but heavy. A rogue enemy command unit had infiltrated deep into the mountains, coordinating nighttime drone strikes that were crippling border defenses. Satellites couldn't see them, radars couldn't track them, and every attempt to locate their control hub had failed. Until now, a faint thermal signal had been detected in a canyon known as Black Veil Pass, and Fighter Jot was chosen to hunt it down, alone, under the cover of night. The wind hissed across the runway as Jot placed his helmet on, his mind already miles ahead in the darkness. Mission parameters uploaded, came the soft voice of Drishti, the Night Fury's onboard AI. Stealth mode calibrated. Target zone at 240 kilometers. Enemy radar probability, 2.7%. Jot smirked beneath his helmet. Then let's make it 0. The engines came alive with a sound barely above a whisper, their pitch-changing turbines designed to muffle all acoustic traces. The jet glided forward like a ghost, lifting into the black sky with no afterburner flame, no visible light, only a ripple in the air. As the ground fell away, the stars stretched across the horizon like diamonds scattered over ink. Altitude 30,000 feet. Time to target, 12 minutes, Drishti reported. Weapons check. Jot asked. 2 Astra X air-to-air missiles, 4 precision-guided stealth bombs, 1 electromagnetic pulse charge. He nodded. Good. Tonight, we end this shadow war. As he crossed into hostile airspace, the radar stayed clear, but his instincts whispered otherwise. Fighter Jot had learned long ago that silence in war was rarely peace, it was the pause before impact. The terrain below turned jagged, moonlight carving ridges into the mountains like scars. Then, out of nowhere, the radar flickered, brief, faint, almost ghost-like. Drishti, confirm anomaly. Signal interference detected. Possible radar decoy. Jot frowned. No one hides forever. He dropped altitude, descending through wisps of cloud until the peaks loomed close enough to touch. His night vision visor activated, painting the landscape in shades of green and gold. The canyon appeared below, Black Veil Pass, a narrow stretch where one mistake meant death by collision or detection. Thermal scan engaged, said Drishti. Heat signatures detected, multiple. Likely drones on sentry patrol. Jot adjusted course. Stay dark, stay low. The Night Fury banked gently, wings slicing through thin mountain air. Through the darkness, he saw faint glimmers, drones, their sensor lights dimmed, scanning the skies. They were small, fast, and deadly. Drishti, mark their pattern. Pattern locked. Opening attack vector. Negative. We're ghosts tonight. The Night Fury drifted past them silently, undetected, until the canyon widened, and there it was. Nestled in the shadows of the cliffs lay the enemy base, a cluster of camouflaged hangars, antennas, and vehicles hidden beneath netting. It was genius in its simplicity, invisible to satellite but vulnerable to fire. Target confirmed, Jot whispered. Drishti, arm payloads. Affirmative. Arming stealth bombs. Jot lined up his crosshairs, fingers hovering over the release switch, heart steady. But before he could strike, the radar shrieked. Incoming. Drishti's tone sharpened. Enemy interceptor detected, Vector 035. Jot pulled back hard, climbing sharply as a streak of heat-seeking fire tore through the space he'd occupied seconds earlier. They were waiting for me, he muttered. The enemy fighter roared into view, sleek, angular, painted